next guest, very excited to chat with this next guest. She is the founder of Foxtrot Digital Communications, and she's also a social media expert, Erica Fox! Woo! Erica, come and join me, we can talk! Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for joining me here.
Hi, it's so good to be here. Thank you so
Awesome.
much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
I have been looking forward to this.
Have you?
How are you
Are you
doing,
serious?
Arlene?
Oh, I'm so flattered. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks for
Sweet.
having me on today.
No problem. I'm very excited to talk to you. I checked a little bit of information about what you're doing.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And because social media is something I absolutely love. You can do that anywhere.
Yeah.
I could say, like, I don't need to get off my, I don't have to wake up and get out of my bed.
Yeah.
I could do work on my phone for like 2
Yes,
hours.
you can.
And I'll feel like I will feel a bit like lethargic, but then like there's so much stuff going on. So
You're connecting with people,
Exactly, yeah.
It feels like that. You're connecting with people constantly.
Definitely, yeah. Talk to us about how you got involved and how you got started with your company, Foxtrot Digital Communications.
How we got started
Yeah.
with Foxtrot. So I love social media is the first and foremost. It brings together two things that I'm passionate about. On one side, it's like the boring stuff, the analytics and looking at all like the sciencey kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then on the other side, it's the communication of it. It's the artistry of it, the beauty of taking like gorgeous photos and sharing them with the world. And how I originally got started is I used to tell people all the time, I was like, if you don't understand how to use social media, because I get this question a lot, especially from my mom's friends, right? My mom's friends were always like, what is that tweetering thing that you're doing over there? I don't understand. What possible use do you get out of 140 characters? And I'm sure you've heard that argument yourself, right?
Probably.
What can you possibly say in 140 characters? So I always used to tell people, think of Facebook as sort of like your mini diary, and then think of Twitter as your perspective on the world in terms of like, what do you want to say, right? What do you want to say about the world? And then think of Instagram as your own personal view of the world. How do you see the world? And so people were like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that. So here's where I comment, and here is where I capture the things that I've seen.
Right.
And that really makes sense. And I thought to myself, well, how can I expand this, and how can I teach people with this? And so that's where Foxtrot kind of came about, is sort of helping small and medium business owners learn how to use social media and feel comfortable with it, and grow the thing that they love, right? Their business.
That's
with
incredible.
social media. And really sort of just share that knowledge. Really,
Awesome.
share it fast and proud.
when did this launch? When did
We are 2 years old last January.
Oh,
yes, it's very,
cool.
very exciting to be at this stage.
Amazing.
This would be my second company now.
Okay.
And I love being an entrepreneur. I love working for myself, but I shouldn't really say that. I don't really work for myself. I work for the people who work for me. Right?
Yeah.
I work for my employees and I work for my clients.
Awesome.
And that's the boss that I love being accountable to.
Right.
And we've been really touched to have some really, really great clients to work with.
Cool.
And so I get to do all of that artistry that I really love in social media with some clients who do amazing things for their employees and their customers as well. So
That's incredible.
it's really been a great cyclical thing. Yeah.
Right. There's so much though. Like you name the main three ones that most people use or most people know.
Yes.
And there's like different ones that are trying to be just like those.
And every day something pops up.
Exactly.
Every day something changes or something new pops up, and maybe not here in a different country. There's so many different kinds of platforms out there.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious, what are some common mistakes that you see in social media?
Well, it depends if you're looking at a person or maybe at a brand.
Okay.
Right? I find that people, like brands struggle to find a voice, I think that people struggle to find a brand. Right? And I think that people struggle to know how to use things appropriately because it's right at your fingertips. Like you just said, right? You wake up and you grab your phone and you're like, oh, what's happening on Twitter or what can I like on Instagram? And you get an update. And it's so easy to quickly just post something right away. And sometimes you just do it without thinking about it, right? I have nieces and nephews who have grown up with social media in their hand almost from an embryo, right? They were tweeting in the womb, coming out 5 days and counting. And so I think that people struggle to remember that there are so many different groups of people in your life who are seeing this. But this is your social resume, right? This is how people are going to unfortunately judge you, right? But they're going to get to know you, whether it's a potential boss, whether it's the aunt of that guy that you always wanted to date, or hey, right? Even my friends on Tinder, the first thing that they do, they connect with somebody and they're like, oh, I wonder what they're like on Facebook, and they get a sense of that person, right? So what do you want these different groups of people to know about you? How do you want to face them? Don't put anything on social media that you don't want your boss to see, or that your aunt in Burlington, who might be very religious, or maybe, that friend of a friend. Really control your privacy settings is a big one there, right? It's so easy to say, show this to only my friends, or only my high school buddies, or only my friends in Toronto. And I think that people need to take a little bit more control over their social media, so that later when they have to take accountability, they feel confident about that. You know what I mean?
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something that I'm sure a lot of us don't really think about.
Well, you have a great brand on social media, and you're already out there.
Thank you.
So I'm sure you can teach people a thing or two.
Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, but thank you. That means a lot. So there's a lot of celebrities that are on social media.
Yes.
Why do you think social media is so important, or what kind of impact is it for pop culture or even politics?
Okay. I mean, well, these days Donald Trump can't tweet anything without everybody on CNN and Fox News throwing him a giant party, right? I think it's become a really big part of pop culture and the political landscape as well. I mean, it's personal, it's branded, and it's intimate, and it's like Beyonce has her own broadcasting system,
right?
And she doesn't have to go through the Much Musics and the MTVs of the world in order to get her message across in the way that Beyonce wants to state her message. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the greatest thing about it is it can maintain that artistic integrity for somebody like Beyonce, who is an artist, right? We can't deny she is an artist, right? And we all saw that the baby announcement, the pregnancy announcement, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was stunning. She's on the floor. She got her flowers out. She got her veil. She's looking glowing. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And that is how she wanted to announce it. And so she did it in her brand and in her artistry. And one of the best things about it is now every time I see a GIF of somebody kneeling on the floor, I think of Beyonce, right? It's like, it's GIF heaven. I see any one of the influencers I love the most. And, they have the veil and they have the flowers. And even at one point I was like, oh, look, you're doing the Beyonce GIF. She was like, no, that's my wedding. I was like, oh, sorry, girlfriend. But now every time I see that veil and those flowers, I'm reminded of Beyonce. And I mean, like, these are our new celebrities. The people coming up in social media are our new celebrities.
Yeah.
Did you see the Teen Choice Awards the other day?
No, I didn't.
Superwoman, like, cleaned up.
Wow.
And she is an influencer. She didn't start in movies.
Yep.
So pop culture is becoming the YouTube stars we're seeing coming up on social media. It's no longer Justin Bieber being found on YouTube and then being brought into the music world.
Right.
Nowadays, our celebrities are becoming influencers as well.
True, yeah.
And that's why it's changing the very dynamic of what it means to be a pop culture icon. Never mind about the fact that, it gives people that close and intimate view, right?
Exactly, yeah, that's true.
Like, if somebody is, posting a comment on Kim Kardashian's Facebook feed, and somebody from Kim Kardashian's team, or maybe KK herself, actually responds. I mean, did that person in Arkansas really think that Kim Kardashian should ever get to be able to talk directly to her?
Right.
Now you can.
Wow.
Now you can post
You
that.
know what? There's like so much stuff that I want to talk to you, but unfortunately we ran out of time. But we can find you on the Foxtrot.ca.
Yes,
and
very
all
much
over
so.
social media.
Very much so.
We should probably
At Erica D. Fox.
Yes.
Yes. Follow
Awesome.
me. Follow me across all of my favorite platforms. Instagram is my favorite, of course. So at Erica D. Fox, and you can follow me there.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Erica.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.